This is Mag212, and this is my rapidstrike Stampede integration. I am going to go over all of the internal modifications, the paint job, and show you a firing demo of it. First off, I'd like to mention that this was a commission, so it is not for sale. It was bought before it was made. Going over this integration, this is a minimized rapidstrike up front. I cut off the front and the back, and then I cut off the stock of a Stampede, and I put that onto the rapidstrike. This is very similar to Coop 772's idea. He took a strife and integrated the Stampede stock, but I was in no way copying him because I was told to do this by the commissioner, and I think it looks really cool, and it was a really fun project to work on. So I adhered the stock to the rapidstrike with at first hot glue to hold it while I put epoxy putty, and I sanded it, and this is probably the cleanest integration I've ever done. You can not even see the lines. It's pretty smooth, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. So now into the modifications to the rapidstrike. There were quite a bit of modifications. I first of all took off the thermistor on the motor, took off the resistors on the pusher motor, and I took off a little resistor on the back board of the trigger board. All of those help increase current, and it gets you a better rate of fire and better RPM for your motors. I also replaced the motors completely with SolarBotics RM2s. Those are just more powerful and they spin a little bit faster than the stock motors. I also Plastidip the flywheels. Plastidip is just a coating that helps grip the darts a little better, and so when the darts are being pushed into the flywheels, they don't slip, and that helps increase range and overall consistency. It is running on 3 Trustfire batteries right here. This is the external battery pack. Since I cut off the front of the rapidstrike, the commissioner wanted me to, I had to rewire it to a 3 AA holder with Trustfires. This is on the outside because I didn't want to put it in the Stampede because it's housing the Panther, and I didn't cover it because I think it looks really cool. That covers all of the mods for the rapidstrike, so now I'm going to go over this Panther integration. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically I stuck a Panther tank in here. This is a half-tank Panther, so it's not as powerful as the full-tank ones. I was not able to find a full-tank one for a reasonable price, so I just bought one of these for $5. This is the Panther tank right here, and the Panther tank is wired to the trigger right here, which you can push, and it's right there, and it's very comfortable to fire. I actually used a piece of 1/2-inch PVC to kind of clean up the integration of the switch, so it's still very comfortable to push, and it looks pretty neat. So I've linked the bladder, or the tank, to the switch, and then from the switch to this pump. This is a Hornet pump, and you pump it like this, you come out like that, and you go like that, and ideally, you should pump it 8 times. This is a shortened Hornet pump. This is because the commissioner wanted a Hornet pump, but he wanted to use 18 dart mags, and if you had a stock Hornet pump, it would be super long and it would run into the clip and you wouldn't be able to pump the Panther. So as you can see, fully extended, it does not run into the clip, which is very good. I glued the pump onto the Stampede stock, and I did it on the respective side. I did it on the right side, as this being my left and my right. It's only adhered to this side by epoxy putty, and I wanted to do that because I wanted to be able to separate the shells, and I didn't want this to be a permanent integration. I also have a Nerf Haven write-up. I'll put a link to it in the description box so you can find it. But I do have a full write-up where I cover how to do it if you want to do this or if you just want to learn more about it. Finally, I have a brass breech right here. This is a slide brass breech, so it opens and closes, and it attaches to this 1/2-inch PVC coupler. This is a 17/32 brass breech. It goes into a 9/16 sheath, and it has a slot so you can put your dart in there. In order to fit the slide brass breech, I did have to cut off the top rail of the rapidstrike. It's pretty neat, but it does leave the top flywheel exposed, which is okay in my opinion, but I just think that that's worth mentioning. I also made this little PVC barrel. It's just to look cool, and it looks kind of battle rifle-ish. This is basically just 3/4 inch PVC, the black stuff, with a coupler to make it look cool, attached to this orange piece from the rapidstrike barrel. And that goes in, and it is very sturdy, and it won't fall out, but it comes out so easily, which is a very nice balance. So I think that covers all of the modifications. So now I'm going to go on to the paint job. This was a black vinyl dye base coat. That's an automotive paint. And then over that, I dry brushed with silver. I dry brushed before I put the camo accents. So I dry brushed in a Rune Fang steel, and then I used a eccentric lime brush paint to do this kind of camo that the commissioner wanted. I know some people won't like this paint job, and it is very subjective. I would rather paint it with just straight detailing, but I do think that the camo turned out really well, and I think it looks really cool overall. That's that, so now I will show you a firing demo. As you can see, the rapidstrike is shooting very well. That's because of the upgraded motors and plastic flywheels. The Panther is shooting pretty well. It's shooting further than the rapidstrike by a little bit, but it is not super powerful. It is a half-tank Panther, so that is kind of the reason. If it was a full tank, it would be shooting much, much harder and much further. But overall, I really love this integration. It feels very nice, and I would prefer a little foregrip here, but it is nice because now I can attach this PVC barrel. It's really balanced. I like how the stock feels. This is one of the more comfortable stocks, and if you don't want to rest your hand here, it's good to rest your hand here because this is where the trigger is for the Panther. I did like doing this integration, and I thought it was really fun. I may do one in the future. But that is the end of my overview on the Stampede-Strike. I hope you liked it. Make sure to visit my Nerf Haven write-up if you want to see exactly how I made this, or if you want to make one of your own. That's the end of the video. I know I already said that, but thanks for watching.